On today's hot sheet, I'm discussing residential vacancies and home ownership for quarter 4 24, office to apartment conversions. Are they up or down? And weekly unemployment. Today is Thursday, February 6th, 2025. I am Byron Lazine, and the hot sheet starts now. Welcome into today's hot sheet. Good to be with all of you here today. Let me know in the live chat which market you are tuning in from, and if you attended BAM Pro Bowl yesterday. Thank all of you who were able to attend the Pro Bowl yesterday. It was a 3-hour event, thousands in attendance across the 3 hours, and really thank you guys all for being a part of that were a part of that. It was an incredible event. If you missed it, replay will be available inside of BAMX. We made a huge announcement about BAMX yesterday. I'll touch on that a little bit later on. But let's jump into today's hot sheet. Hot sheet, of course, brought to you each and every day by Zoodealio. BAMX members get access to Zoodealio's platform absolutely free, part of BAMX. Zoodealio's platform helps you generate 4 offers on every listing and helps you get more listing, compete with iBuyers, and show sellers that you have the proof that you're bringing offers to them without even having that signature signed at that point. All right, let's get into the vacancies. Quarterly residential vacancies and home ownership numbers are out. One of the things we want to keep in mind is like vacancies are moving up on on property. That means, hey, there could be, if it's vacancies on lower level multifamily, there might be an opportunity for a sale there. Higher vacancies can lead to movement in the market. So right now, the rental vacancy rate, according to yesterday's report here from the U.S. Census Bureau, came in at 6.9%. Homeowner vacancy rate now at 1.1%. Home ownership rate is coming in at 65.7%. So they release these about every quarter. You can see that the rental vacancy rate now, since rates have started to move up, is also moving up. And homeowner vacancy rate, while still very low, going back 20 plus years here, is starting to move up. The homeowner vacancy rate's interesting because if you do have a vacant in a single family home, like, why would you be just leaving your home vacant? What would be the point of that? And so there's an opportunity, obviously, to pick up a property onto the market that needs more properties. So both of these, the vacancy rate for the rental was basically flat, virtually the same at 6.9%. It was 6.6% back in 23. Homeowner rate was higher than the fourth quarter in 23 at 0.9%. So that 0.9 to 1.1, that is a meaningful move, and one that I'd pay attention to. I'd be digging into something like PropStream or whatever you use in your market for, reaching out to those homeowners and making a connection there. What's the deal with this property? It's vacant. Has anybody walked you through, how much equity you have today? That might be a conversation I'd be having. If we're looking back on rentals, 2022 is down to 5.8. That was the low mark. 5.6, in fact, in the second quarter. If we look pre-pandemic, we were at about 7%. We're at 6.9 today. So this is a normal vacancy rate across the board for rentals. And we're way below pre-pandemic. 2019, we're at 1.4 for homeowner vacancy. Now we're up to 1.1. So ticking up. Low point there was 0.8 back in 22. In some more news from this Census Bureau report, median asking rent for vacant rent units, obviously below its peak, but just below. We've seen that flatten out here over the last year. The median asking rent for vacant rent units, or this is different than rent units actually that get rented. So the median asking rent for vacant units has moved down, but still at a basically 20-year all-time high. median asking rent for vacant for sale units, median sales price, that is on a decline. So that tells me a lot of those vacant units have got to be in areas where you've seen an inventory increase, maybe in Austin, maybe a Fort Myers, Florida, those types of areas where you've seen, a huge push up on inventory for the price to drop this, maybe Tampa, right? From 375 to 325 on the median asking sales price for vacant for sale units. Now, there's not a lot units. There's only 1.1%. But look at that number is moving sharply down right now since the last reading, which was just the third quarter of 2024. So really, really big move. That number is all the way down to 332,800 from 375,000. So meaningful move down on the median asking price for these vacant homes. I'd be going after any vacant single family homes in my market as a real estate agent as an opportunity to help them solve that problem. Quarterly home ownership rates and seasonally adjusted home ownership rates right now, again, coming in pretty much where we've been since COVID, got behind us, really since 21, been bouncing around that 65 to 66 range. That's where we're at today. This is lower than 2022, that run up before the great financial crisis, but predominantly higher than the recovery years of, say, 2011, 2012 through pre-pandemic level at 2019. We were just about to maybe get where we were in the beginning of 2020. Obviously, it shot up during 2020 and has cooled back off. So lower than the run up before the great financial crisis, higher than the recovery, lower than the COVID peak, and settling in right at 65.7% on home ownership as of right now. There's more data in there. All of the charts, by the way, those will be available right inside of BAMX. And if you weren't on the Pro Bowl, then you might have missed the announcement. BAMX has now moved over to the #1 education and community platform in the world, moving over to school. BAMX now all in one place. No more Facebook group spam, all in one place inside of school. And what's great for our hot sheet family here, every single day, BAMX members have access to the daily downloads and charts. Here's today's episode. This is the episode we're on right now, live. Is that right? There we go. We have the live episode in here, but all of the charts that I'm talking about are easy to download. Download right at the top right here inside of BAMX. And every single day, we will be dropping all of our downloads, our hot sheet show notes, how I make the cake on these shows, all of our sources, all available for you right there inside of the hot sheet classroom. That is just one feature on BAMX. Obviously, there's so much more, 30 plus courses, the weekly social content, all of that. But if you're looking for everything that we do right here at your fingertips for the hot sheet, it's all right there inside of your hot sheet show note classroom. We have all of January's obviously loaded up, most popular charts from the hot sheet, all available right in your hot sheet, daily market data slides, and all of that information right inside of BAMX for you. Okay, moving on to next chapter. By the way, BAMX, go to school.com/BAMX to sign up. School.com/BAMX. Bobby will put a link in. There'll be one down below. So you'll have, it's on the screen. It's on the screen. There you go. Bobby's ahead of the game. All right. So that's how you sign up for that. By the way, prices will be going up in 2 weeks. Everybody who gets in gets grandfathered in on their price for life of your membership inside of BAMX. So we've got OG members from the past. Prices moved up 3 times. It's going to be the 4th time it moves up. We just keep putting more and more content and value in there. And as we do that, obviously the price reflects that value. So get in today so that price doesn't move up on you here in 2 weeks. School.com/BAMX. All right. Well, let's take a look. We just took a look at those vacancies. Now, let's take a look at what the conversation around converting office space into apartments is right now. This number has surged by 484% in just 4 years. To me, it's a staggering number, no question about it. But it's coming off of basically this never happening, right? This doesn't happen. So, you got to take that into consideration. The pipeline for converting office space into apartments up 484%. But this is the numbers here. Okay. 70,700 are the office to apartment conversion pipeline. So what's in the pipeline right now? It's over 70,000. I mean, if we go back to 2021, where you get your 484,000 increase, it was 12,000. These aren't huge numbers. Okay, when we're millions of units short in terms of supply to meet demand, and we've been millions of units short for 10 years. This is something, but it's really not, it's throwing a pebble into the ocean, so to speak. And that 484,000 number, it's a huge increase. It's heading the right direction for office space that isn't going to be utilized. But the reason why it's not bigger is because offices are just very difficult to convert. Is it one in the right location? If you're in an office park, that's a little bit weird. If it's one of those downtown highly desirable locations, that makes sense. But then does the infrastructure of the building really support, that type of rebuild? Is it going to be affordable on the other side for the developer to go ahead and do this and then sell it? Is it even going to come out at an affordable price? A lot of these conversions you do see in the luxury sector of the market. Unfortunately, here are the locations, the 20 housing markets, the most planned office to apartment conversions is according to Rent Cafe, which is part of the Yardi Systems. You got New York at a 59% year over year increase. So New York's coming in at 8,300. New York's got obviously an affordability problem, high demand right now on New York City residential. So this makes sense. I mean, I was in New York in December. Place was buzzing. It was absolutely people everywhere. I know it's the holiday time and all of that. But I said to some friends I have in the city, I said, how often are you going into the office? And it's like, oh, definitely Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm like, you live in this. What's the problem with Monday and Friday? Oh, we just kind of have like this hybrid schedule going, and that's just been in place for a long time. It's like, okay, well, he's like, I do go there on Mondays most of the time. That means, okay, if you're not too hungover from Sunday football. But yeah, a lot of people are doing these hybrid schedules in the city. I know there's been a huge call back to office, but there's just a reduction in the need of office space overall. And so a place like New York, this makes a ton of sense where, you've got a 59% year over year increase on this. You got DC up there with 6,500 office to apartment unit pipeline. LA at 4,300. And these aren't big numbers. These are like one project, two projects, maybe. Chicago, 3,600. That's a 28% year over year increase. Dallas is down. Dallas is 2,700, down 14% year over year. Why is Dallas down? Dallas has more inventory than those other three locations. So when they had less inventory, there was more I got to go in and try to make an apartment to a, office to an apartment conversion rather. Now there's more inventory. There's less risk takers in this sector of the market in a place like Dallas, down 14% year over year from office to apartment conversions. Atlanta's up 57%. Minneapolis is up 40%. Charlotte's up 107%. Very competitive market. That makes sense. Cincinnati's got 1,700 of these in the pipeline. Kansas City. Who's rooting for Kansas City on Sunday? Who's rooting for Philly? Just let me know in the live chat. Which side of that are you going to be on Sunday? Kansas City's got 1,600 in the pipeline. It's an 11% increase. Phoenix, 1,600. Cleveland's got 1,600 in the pipeline, but they're down 20% year over year on apartment to office to apartment conversions. Bridgeport, very tight market. Inventory up 71% year over year, 1,400. Probably one or two projects again. Jacksonville's up 150%. They got 1,400 in the pipeline. Denver's up 55%, about 1,400 in the pipeline. Omaha, Nebraska's up about 1,300, 141%. Boston's up 160% with 1,100 in the pipeline. So there you go on the top 20. And even if you look at number 20, it's Detroit, you're down to 962 units. So again, we're just not dealing with a ton of these because it's a huge risk. It's a lot of work. A lot of these office buildings are just not, able to be converted in the beginning. All right. So we've got Philly, we've got Eagles, we've got not the Chiefs. Jody, I'm with you, not the Chiefs, but I hate the Eagles, so I have to go Chiefs. By the way, Bobby, I don't know if you know this.
What? Tell me.
So Haley,
Oh yes, we've got Haley's deep Eagles fandom.
We've got Bobby on the hot sheet today, but a lot of times we have Haley. It's either Haley or Bobby. So Bobby's here with us today. Him and I are in studio together in the CT studio. Everybody say, "Well, welcome back to Hot Sheet, Bobby."
Hello, everyone. Good to see you.
Good to see everybody. Everybody misses you, Bobby, when you're not here. Not that they don't appreciate Haley. They love Haley. I told Haley, Bobby, that she could have Monday off if Philly wins, which means you definitely have to do the hot sheet on Monday if Philadelphia wins. You were planning on
this. I wasn't planning on not working Monday, but I didn't realize this was a bet with Haley. Okay, so Haley's off on Monday then if they win.
Yeah, she's going to be off if Philly wins because this is a bet that I don't win anything, unfortunately, but it's a bet I feel super confident in because I just think KC is going to repeat. So I'm like, yeah, Haley, sure. Nice. It's a nice thing for me to do. It's like
we're never going to hear the end of this if they win.
But it's like, I'm like, they're not going to win. So I tried to throw you that bone. I'm being a nice guy. So she's going to say, oh, Byron really has my back. But I know they're just not going to win. She's going to have to work on Monday. So that's the deal. Speaking of working on Monday, we've got unemployment claims.
What a transition, folks.
Initial claims was 219,000 for the week. We're going to get a big jobs report tomorrow. We'll be breaking that down on Monday's show because there's going to be an impact, when we get all this jobs data tomorrow on the market one way or another. We'll be looking for that 10-year, hopefully, to move down. But we had initial claims of 219,000. That's an increase of 11,000. Remember, last week's level was pretty low. Last week's level was revised up 1,000 to 207,000. 4-week moving average is below this week at 216,750. It's an increase of 4,000 from the previous week. So unemployment settling back up to kind of where we're used to seeing it from a low week last week. And we'll await the big jobs report tomorrow to see what the impact is on the 10-year. 10-year right now, hanging in there at 4.44. If we look back on the last month, this is the low point on the 10-year, okay? And we'll take that. Hopefully we can continue to see improvement on the spread, and hopefully we get an impact on the 30-year like we did yesterday. Yesterday, folks, came in at Walmart pricing of $6.99. The mental barrier of being under 7 is finally here. Look at that, the consistency on the read. We had 4 readings of 7.05, 4 readings straight. We've been in that range for days and days. Now finally at 6.99 on the 30-year fixed reading, according to Mortgage News Daily. That is great news. And with any luck, we can get a great jobs report for meaning job market's not overheating. We don't want to see a lot of people lose jobs or anything like that, but we want to see a market that is cooling down for jobs tomorrow, and maybe that'll can push that 10-year and that 30-year down a little bit. Be nice to get to 6 3/4. That would be a beautiful thing if we can get there to hit this spring market, or even lower, of course, but we shall see. All right. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Go to school.com/BAMX if you haven't done so already. We're going to be announcing, I think, next week exactly when those prices go up. So get grandfathered in now. The community that sifts through the BS so that you don't have to. And Haley's rooting for Haley too. Oh, Haley's listening in on this. So now she knows my scheme of I was trying to get some brownie points with Haley. Great. But this is the community that sifts through the BS so that you don't have to. We deliver more content to you every single day than any other platform. And we have 30 plus courses in there. We're charging less than some people charge for one course. It's absolutely ridiculous. Get locked in, get grandfathered in the community that has your back and keeps this business fun. School.com/BAMX. Link down below. Appreciate all of you guys. Thanks for being a part of the BAM Pro Bowl yesterday. Have a great weekend. We've got walkthrough later on here on the main channel. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit the notification bell for that. We've got Knowledge Brokers podcast
Special
on Friday.
Guest, Knowledge Brokers.
Special guest Knowledge Brokers podcast tomorrow. That's all I'll say about that over on the Knowledge channel. Enjoy the Super Bowl this weekend. I'll be back with you Monday on the hot sheet, 9:30 on the East, 6:30 on the West. You know the deal in between. Until then, toodaloo.